This is pretty emotional for me.
The audience was small, but the testimony was mighty as people gathered in the Sealaska Heritage Institute's Walter Soboleff building in downtown Juneau. The discussion was centered around the efforts to make right an old wound from 60 years ago, the closing of a church led by Tlinkit's spiritual leader, Walter Soboleff.
There's so many things we could say about Dr. Soboleff. He gave so much to this community and was so well respected within the Native community and within the non-Native community.
For more than 20 years, he was the pastor at Memorial Presbyterian Church. In the beginning, it served a predominantly Native congregation, but was later opened up to non-Natives.
In addition to everything he did at the Memorial Church, he was a leading voice of Native interest. He was active, he taught, he provided services for the National Guard in Alaska. He did a million things.
But in 1962, Alaska Presbytery and the Presbyterian Board of National Missions, which owned the church, shut it down without any explanation.
It was 50% of the membership of the Memorial Church chose to at least move their membership over to the Northern Light Night Church. 50% dropped out.
But within 3 years, many who changed churches eventually stopped going.
But it left this wound in the community with families that had been part of Memorial Church, with the community at large.
Now, 60 years later, and after decades of silence, reparations and a formal apology are in the works for the damage caused by the unexplained closure.
By addressing the wrongs of the past, we begin to heal. And it's so important to do this because church history with Presbyterianism was stamping out Tlingit culture.
The other piece of the work that was done, and that is what I think the non-Native part of the church, as well as the Native members, believe is so critical, is that we not repeat the history.
It is a well-told story.
Soboleff died in 2011 at the age of 102. He never received a formal apology, but those behind the effort to keep this story alive feel he would be proud of this moment.
I could just see him smiling in his modest way and just saying, good job.
For telling Alaska's story, Ariane Arambiro, Alaska's news source.